Hello guys, good afternoon and welcome back to another educational episode where we talk about the top cryptocurrencies in the space and their status here in 2023, as well as my price prediction for them. Today, we're going to cover Cardano, ADA, and what's going on in their ecosystem, how they've been playing it out in 2023, and what we can expect. Let's jump on in. Oh, and by the way, make sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment down below. I want to know your guys' opinion on Cardano, what you guys think about the price, what you think about the ecosystem, and how they're developing out in DeFi, in various other areas, identity, in their partnerships. They got a lot going on use case wise. So let me know your thoughts. All right, jumping in, let's go. For those that don't know Cardano very well, or ADA, here's a quick overview. Cardano is a decentralized blockchain platform. It was created to provide a more secure and transparent way to transfer and store digital assets. It was founded in 2015 by Charles Hoskinson. You know, that guy that's always doing the AMAs on YouTube and on Twitch. That guy. One of the co-founders of Ethereum. He doesn't like to think of it that way. A guy that helped out with Ethereum for a period of time. Cardano's underlying technology is based on peer-reviewed academic research, uses a proof-of-stake consensus algorithm to validate transactions on its blockchain network. One of the key features of Cardano is its layered architecture, which allows for flexibility and scalability in its development. And the first layer, called the settlement layer, is responsible for processing transactions and maintaining the ledger. The second layer, called the computation layer, allows for the creation of smart contracts and decentralized applications. Cardano's native token ADA is used as a means of exchange within the platform and can be used to pay for transaction fees and access dApps. It is also used to incentivize staking on the network, which helps to secure the blockchain and process transactions more efficiently. And it's fair to note that Cardano was one of the first blockchains, if not the first, to implement staking effectively and prove that it is a solid alternative to proof of work for those that don't like that mechanism. And there's issues with proof of stake too, at least from a fundamental or philosophical view. I don't know what my theories are on proof of stake. I just know that it's cheaper overall, more energy efficient. Looking at the use cases for Cardano, primarily the enterprise use cases, which is largely, I think, what the network is designed around. They are creating all kinds of different use cases around education, retail, agriculture, government, finance, healthcare. Again, they are research-backed, scientifically backed blockchain. They've spent years, painstaking years, putting this ecosystem together, primarily because they want to take on these large corporate use cases. And that's, I think, where a large amount of their focus is, but it doesn't mean that they don't have a vibrant ecosystem for everybody, which we're going to dive into here. And I can't even see it, so I apologize, but they've worked with national governments around the world, central banks, major exchanges. They are thriving in the NFT ecosystem, the DeFi ecosystem, and guys, they have a massive networking community out there. They have very good fundamentals as well as communication skills, and they've laid a lot of this stuff out very, very well over the years. They have a very clear roadmap. They're very technical. They're very in-depth, and Charles himself has been pioneering that from the very beginning. So I'm not surprised their ecosystem is this big. And this is nothing. This is just where it's at now, and it'll probably double or triple this by the time we go into the next 2 years, just at the rate that they're growing. It's very exciting what they're working on. Let's go over their methodology a little bit, because I think it's very different than most other blockchains out there. Again, they are research first academically, where they do not rely on technical foundations taken from Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency systems. Instead, IOHK, Input Output Hong Kong, which I believe they changed the name. I just can't remember it right now. So put that in the comments as well. Works with world-leading academics on fundamental research for the Cardano blockchain. They do prototyping in collaboration with the research team. A technical prototyping team experiments with implementation of functions and approach described in the research. They do technical specifications in collaboration, again, with prototyping. They're created and published based on research and prototyping results, which is good when they want to build out certain aspects of the ecosystem. They don't just say we're going into DeFi. They really try to understand how DeFi will work on the Cardano blockchain, what the ins and outs are, what could slow it down, what could make it inefficient, are there attack vectors. So they're very good at testing these things out and running them through their funnels before they get to the public. Formal development methods. IOHK engineers make great use of formal development methods that are rigorous and mathematical techniques for testing software that works exactly as intended. And they use functional programming. IOHK embraces functional programming languages, most notably Haskell, since the very beginning, which is a more secure and well-known language than Ethereum's Solidity. Easier to build on, less human error involved than other languages, and easier to test and verify, and gives them the ability to commit to high assurance with formal development. So their methodology, again, very research-based and very well thought out, put together. It's fair to note that Cardano has also hit an all-time high with their TVL. TVL standing for Total Value Locked. Just recently, their DeFi ecosystem, which is growing at a tremendously fast rate, according to DeFi Llama, has shown that the TVL on Cardano has hit new all-time highs of 336 million ADA coins locked up. That's about $110 million. It's pretty good. Now, compared to other blockchains out there, it's still lagging behind quite a bit, such as Binance Smart Chain, which has a TVL of like 4.7 billion. Credit to Binance Smart Chain. Binance is behind it, and they have a massive user base through their exchange, so it's easier for them to draw that kind of money. So Cardano has a way to go. But as far as most established blockchains go, 110 million TVL is pretty good start, considering that Cardano got in a little late to the game because they want to be this third generation blockchain. Also to note, they're very slow at developments. Like, the tech is good, but they're very slow. But again, the communication is great. They come out with these weekly development reports. You should definitely check it out. I think it's on IOHK's website, but they have like a whole blog for it. So every single week you can get a full development report on what they're working on. In just the past week, to give you an example, they finalized benchmarking for SECP for nodes, working on adding support for Ledger and Daedalus, which is their native wallet. The Marlow runtime scaling strategy. I'm not all caught up on Marlow and the things they've been working on the past year or so, but they're constantly improving all these different functionalities. Hydra as well, working on scope plan for mainnet compatibility. And then from a statistical side, they have 117 projects launched on Cardano as of right now, 1,209 projects building on Cardano, 7.87 million native tokens. Insane. 70,258 token policies. That's crazy too. That's a lot of writing. That's a lot of manuscripts. 5,953 Plutus scripts and 797 V2 Plutus scripts and 62.2 million total number of transactions. It's getting up there. Cardano's going to be one of the biggest blockchains in the world. Mark my words. In terms of recent news, Charles Hoskinson once again gets in a scrap with somebody, fighting on the internet with a Redditor. He's a very fiery guy and very passionate, but it's kind of silly to get in fights over the internet these days. People are always just trying to get some relevance by picking fights with people, by being cyberbullies. So I don't think you should be getting drawn into that, especially if you're Charles. So it's a little stupid, dude. Don't do it again, please. But Cardano has also achieved the first wrapped Bitcoin. That's a pretty big milestone, which is really cool. Their CIP 1694 proposal is coming to give power to the Cardano Constitutional Committee, which comprises of insiders from IOG, which would be able to veto any governance action. So there's some questions on, is that a little too centralized for a blockchain like Cardano to be a decentralized blockchain and to put all that power into a committee that's handpicked by IOHK, or which is now Input Output Global, I believe, IOG. We can debate that. And then there's stablecoin, DJ stablecoin is the fourth biggest on the Cardano project list. And then Cardano is also pushing forward and revolutionizing digital identity. These are just some of the things that are happening recently with Cardano on a weekly basis. They have so much going on from a technical side, and from a newsworthy side, you know, it's kind of like a monthly thing. Again, they're very slow with developments, but the news, when it hits pretty big. Now, price action, which I think is what most people are very interested in. Cardano is one of those coins, 8 is one of those coins that it takes time for it to really have a notable move, but once it moves, it moves. So, you know, given the landscape of crypto and blockchain right now, it is not very pretty. There's a lot of liquidity issues. The SEC is trying to regulate everything. Biden wants to regulate the industry. Congress wants to regulate the industry. There's a lot of FUD out there. It's hard to get the ADA price to go up. Since the beginning of the year, I think that trend has started to happen on a macro scale. So to get Cardano from 30 cents, where it's at now, maybe sub 30, depending on when this video goes out, up to 60 cents this year, I think is very probable, but it's going to take some big resistance barriers getting broken. So I think by the end of the year, Cardano can definitely get back to 60 cents, but we need to get through all this FUD. We need to get through all the bullshit. But that's at least 2 to 3 major resistance areas in the short term just to get there. Now, getting into 2024, assuming we get back into a bull market, Cardano should very easily get back to $1.50. It should very easily get back to where it was solid over $1 and pushing upwards, where I think it will settle at $5 in the next 2 years. But it's going to take some time. Again, these are very conservative estimates. Do your own due diligence. Don't trade off of this. I say it all the time. This is just my opinion. This is just the first glance analysis that I do. When I look at something, I step back and I say, where's it been? Where's it at now? Where could it go? Where are the resistance barriers? What is the common sense telling us? And sometimes we overanalyze this space with the TA, and it's much easier to just step back and go, okay, well, clearly it's got some room to run, but the market environment is not good. So give it time, guys. Give it time, but I do think that we can see at least a 2x in the price by the end of the year if we can continue this bull cycle. So the next couple months will be very key to see which way we start grinding. Hopefully bullish. Anyways, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I want to know your guys' thoughts. Let me know what you think about Cardano and ADA right now, as well as what you would like to know more about in terms of cryptos that are out there and other projects, and I would be happy to give my opinion and do a video on it. So share your thoughts. Make sure, again, to like and share this with somebody that you think might also enjoy it, and subscribe. Support the channel. See you guys.